Hi my friends, thank you so much for tuning back into the channel. Today's practice is just super nice, restorative, chill. Keeping it super accessible, so all you need is a blanket. And I think we might all have that. If you don't have a blanket, grab a pillow, you could do the same things. Good, so we are going to get started. And the blanket will serve as a pillow for the head in our first pose. So we are simply going to make our way down on towards the back. And the head rests on towards the blanket. And maybe the shoulders meet the bottom of the blanket. Head can be nice and supported. We are going to keep the feet on the mat and the knees bent. Conscious resting pose. Allowing the back of the body to be supported by the mat. Allowing the head to be supported by a soft blanket or a soft pillow. Allowing the mat to carry you as we find this first bit of relaxation, bit of softening down. Good. And practice today moving through some restorative poses as well as some gentle movement, quite accessible. Suitable for any energy level. Good. And we take a deep breath in here. And a long breath out. Deep breath in. And a long breath out. Awesome. Then from here, we are going to extend our hands overhead. And we're going to give it a nice stretch with the hands. We're going to hook the thumbs together overhead. And we're simply going to pull the hands just a little bit apart here. Creating some activeness in the arm muscles. And then I would like you to unhook the hands. We take a deep breath in here. And on an exhale, we'll circle the hands all the way down towards the mat. Inhale, lifting them up. If it's too much to extend them overhead, keep them here. And then exhale, we bring it back down. Good. Inhale, both hands extend up, either up towards the face or all the way overhead if that's accessible for your shoulders. Good. And then on the exhale, we press the hands back down. Inhale, we lift the hands all the way up towards the sky and overhead, creating length. And exhale, press the hands back down. Good. Now the hands can relax down. We are going to extend the right leg out, lift the right hand up and overhead, creating length. Right foot reaches down, right hand reaches up. And on the exhale, we're going to draw the toes over the mat as we rebend the knees and plant the palm back down. Inhale, extending, reaching. Exhale, draw the toes over the mat, place the palm back down. One more, inhale, extend and reach. Exhale, place release it back down. Good. Same thing on the other side, reaching left leg out, right hand up, up, up. Creating length, reaching the fingers up, reaching the toes up like you're stretching in the morning. And then on the exhale, we're going to draw it back down and in. Inhale again, creating that length, reaching. Nice stretch. And exhale, we draw it back in. And then there's that last one as we inhale, reach. We find a nice lengthening. Exhale, we bring the left foot back in and the hand back down. Good. Shoulders are nice and relaxed on towards the mat. And we find a deep breath in here. And a long breath out. Hands can stay where they are. Maybe you'd like to rest them on towards the belly. We're going to walk the feet a little bit wider than the mat. And we're going to windshield wiper the legs a little side to side, just to a point that's comfortable for you. Leaning side to side, side to side. Good. And then we are going to drop the knees together, keep the feet nice and wide for a moment. Allowing the lower back to be nice and flush with the mat. Taking a deep breath in and a long breath out here. And then we're going to walk the feet together. And we are going to take the knees in towards our chest. Give yourself a big hug. Maybe a gentle massage over the lower back. And then we are going to find a twist as we bring both knees over towards the left, the hips a little over towards the right. Now if the knees are high off the mat and it's uncomfortable, maybe that blanket shifts and you prop it up underneath the knees, or maybe you grab an extra blanket or pillow, prop it up underneath the knees. And we take a few nice breaths here. Gentle twist, not forcing anything. And just allowing the body to relax here. And then we make our way back up to center. And we shift the hips over towards the other side. Drop the knees towards the right. And again here, create support if needed. And again, a few breaths here. And slowly making your way back to center when you're ready for it. And from there, we are going to bring the feet together and the knees nice and wide. And for this one, I actually gonna shift my pillow, even though I love the support for the head, because I'd like to have a little blanket underneath my thighs, just to keep nice and supported and to keep my knees from dropping too far beyond my comfort. And we're going to find some opening here in the hip area. And the hands can rest next towards the body, maybe on towards the belly. See if you can soften your breath. Maybe create a little bit more length on the inhalations and on the exhalations. Noting how the back of the body is still supported. From here, we're slowly bringing the legs back together. And we're going to move the blanket from underneath the head or the hips. Maybe you come up into a seat. And this is where having a blanket is actually quite nice. Because we are going to roll up a blanket. So it's coming into a nice little roll. And we can place it in line with the length of the spine. So sort of the end of the blanket meets the lower back, a little bit towards the sacrum maybe. And this is a beautiful replacement for a yoga bolster if you don't have one. So we are going to soften our body over the blanket. And maybe if the head cannot be on a blanket, if you're quite tall, then it might be nice to prop another pillow underneath the blanket. And otherwise we're allowing our body, our front body, to open here, as again the back remains supported. And we started with some movement to simply meet the busy mind where it's at, to now get into a little bit more restorative, a little bit more of these longer holds where we can allow the body to rest. Allow the mind to rest. Creating that connection with the breath. Creating that beautiful, gentle front body opener. Opening of the heart. Finding that deep breath. That support. Good. Then we slowly transition up. Maybe we scooch towards one side of the body. And I'd like you to roll up the blanket one more time in a different way. We're gonna create a nice big sort of cushioning. So I fold it just a few times. Now this is quite a big blanket, and we are going to bring that blanket in a bridge pose underneath the sacrum. So I'm gonna sit my hips nice and on the blanket, creating it a little lower than the lower back. You can come into it from your bridge pose as well and slide it under the sacrum. And then the hands can rest wherever they naturally fall. And this is one of those poses. A pillow underneath the head might be super nice. Now I'm quite comfortable interlacing my hands behind the head and being in that open heart position, but I can imagine it's not comfortable for everyone. So a pillow might be nice. And we find a breath here. Back is supported. Some nice deep breaths. Taking a nice deep breath in here. And a long breath out. And then I'd like you to walk the feet a little closer and lift up the hips, move the blanket aside, and then we're coming into our last pose where this blanket comes so beautifully in use, which is Shavasana. So grabbing your blankets, making yourself a nice, comfy, cozy position here, making sure you're nice and tucked, nice and warm. Hands can rest next towards the body, or if you feel more comfortable, bringing them anywhere on the belly, on the heart, and that's always alright too. And this is where we meet in Shavasana. Again, the back body is supported. We allow the body to rest. And allowing ourselves to sink down and towards the mat in full relaxation. going to be leaving you here. Please stay in Shavasana for as long as you'd like. Thank you so much for practicing. Namaste.